Representative Dobrinski, you are recognized to introduce the Veteran of the Week.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it is a great honor for me to be able to present a family of patriots from my district, and certainly a privilege to be able to share their story of service, not only for our country, but for the great state of Oklahoma. Before I begin this cool story, I'd like to pause briefly to recognize the family in the gallery, and I'd like to ask you all to please stand so we can see you. We have Mr. Secrest's brother, Larry, and his wife Jill Secrest, if you'd please stand. John's family, Tiffany, Allie and her son Maverick, Tiara, Sam, and Bristol. Travis's family, Diana, Zaylin, and Kinsey, along with Melissa's work family, including retired Major General Thompson, Major General Mancino, and the staff from the Oklahoma National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thunderbirds are also in the house, so let's join and welcome our special guests. Now, members, before me this afternoon is the Secrest family, Bill and Debbie, and their 3 children, John, Travis, and Melissa. I became acquainted with them early in my career when Debbie's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hoots, were customers of mine in Yukon at my auto dealership in the late 80s. In the following years, Bill was in and out of my service department with his company truck as he covered many miles working for Marathon Oil in western Oklahoma. I enjoyed getting to know Bill and Debbie and watched their kids grow up in Seiling, where Debbie worked in the school administration office for 35 years. Now, Sergeant William E. Secrest, we all know as Bill, or a lot of the family know him as Papa Secrest, began this incredible family journey back in 1971 when he decided to join the Oklahoma Army National Guard. He served proudly till 1978, and then he had a 19-year break in service and decided to get back in 1997 when his 2 sons decided to start their military careers. The only reason Debbie allowed him to do that, because Bill said the National Guard never goes anywhere. Well, that was the beginning of a short-lived joke that they love to tell, but Bill served proudly for 21 years until his retirement in 2011. Staff Sergeant John P. Secrest decided to join the Oklahoma Army National Guard in '97 and served proudly until 2018 when he retired after 21 incredible years. Sergeant First Class William Travis Secrest, and he goes by Travis, he joined the Marine Corps and served proudly until 2002 when he decided to join the Army National Guard, and also served till 2013 when he was medically retired after 17 years. And finally, Sergeant Melissa Secrest, the youngest, surprised everyone when she joined the ranks of the greatest National Guard in the nation, the Oklahoma Army National Guard, in 2007 and served proudly until 2013 and continues serving as Executive Assistant to the Adjutant General, Major General Thomas Mancino. So, for some notes here. The first time I got acquainted with General Mancino was in July of 2022 during wildfires in Blaine County. I was a freshman legislator and didn't have much experience coordinating with various emergency agencies during times of crisis and had no idea how strictly resources are controlled by our chief executive. The governor was out of the country during this wildfire, and as I understand it, several time zones away. With my lack of experience and frustration, I had passionate conversations with both the Secretary of Agriculture and Lieutenant Governor expressing my frustrations with our inability to support our rural firefighters and the Department of Forestry that was trying to manage our crisis. So not knowing the exact chain of command, I reached out to fellow legislators who suggested I contact our Army National Guard, and I want to personally thank Representative Kennedy here for making the connection. I contacted General Mancino, introducing myself and trying to explain the magnitude of my crisis in order to ask him for air support. To my surprise, he quickly and politely interrupted me, letting me know his executive assistant was also on the call, and as I remember it, he said, "Representative, I know enough about you that if you're calling asking for my help, we're prepared to do everything within our power to help." There was a helicopter dispatched quickly that day to dump water where needed, and a second the following day until that wildfire was brought under control after burning over 10,000 acres in Blaine County. So now let me get to some fun stuff. In 1999, Bill and John deployed to Bosnia for 1 year. In 2003, Bill, John, and Travis all deployed for a year in Kuwait and were then part of the initial push into Iraq. In 2005, Bill, John, and Travis all deployed to Louisiana in support of Hurricane Katrina. And in 2008, Bill, John, and Melissa all went to Iraq for a year-long deployment doing detaining operations. And finally, in 2011, John, Travis, and Melissa all deployed for the first time without their dad and spent a year in Afghanistan. Travis was awarded the Distinguished Purple Heart during his deployment after hitting a roadside bomb during a convoy. So, along with many other awards and honors they have, Bill, John, and Travis all received the Combat Infantry Badge, and they wear the Thunderbird with honor, not only as soldiers, but as a family. And so, members, Mom Debbie, the glue that holds this family of patriots together stands with them in honor today, and I have citations to present each one. But members and guests, please stand and let's show our gratitude to Bill and Debbie Secrest family here in the Oklahoma House of Representatives.
Representative Kennedy, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just one last final note. I will tell you, first off, you'd be hard pressed to find a family with this much service. They make movies out of service like this. And when we watch them, we can't imagine them being real, but this is real. But Melissa is going to get an additional special citation from the Veterans Caucus, because I will tell you her job taking care of our boss, Major General Mancino, deserves its very own citation. Thank you very much.